Hey guys, SPC current 1056 here. This is a very important severe weather briefing video. The current time is 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. For those of you just waking up in the Central Plains, good morning to you. Look outside, it should be clear, but that will not be the case later. As you can see, the SPC has issued a huge high risk. Here's your, here's your high risk here. It goes from central and north central Oklahoma, central and eastern Kansas, and much of central and eastern Nebraska. Now, the main threats in this is going to be very large hail and a few potentially long-lived tornadoes that can cause significant damage. And you see that there's also a moderate risk here. And then we got your big slight risk. But the areas most likely to experience this severe weather today will be in this high risk area. Now, if you look at our tornado threat, the tornado threat appears to be it's much more likely within the high risk area, 30%. And then you have your 45%, where tornadoes are very likely. This is going to be a very, very likely area for tornado development, especially tornado development for very long-lived tornadoes, EF5s, tornadoes. And then you have your moderate risk here, slight risk, which goes all the way out to here. It's not mentioned on the map, but so you have 2% in green, 5% in brown, 15% in red. 10% in yellow, 15% red, 30% purple, and we got 45% in dark purple. As you can see, that's the tornado threat outlook right now. Wind, we have 5% here, 15, 30, 45. So the greatest wind threat appears to be over here in this area. Hail. Here is the hail. Now 5% goes all the way around. Then you got your 15%, which goes most of the slight risk. This hatched area means 10% or greater probability of 2-inch diameter hail or larger within 25 miles of any point. So if you live in this hatched area here, let me just go closer for you. This hatched area right here, there is a 10% chance that 2-inch diameter hail or larger will occur within 25 miles of any point within this hatched area. So, if you live in the 45% area in the hatched area, there is a good chance you're going to see some hailstones today. And that is also for the 15%. No, I'm sorry, the 30%. Now, there's a high risk of severe thunderstorms later this afternoon into tonight for central eastern Nebraska, central eastern Kansas, and central north central Oklahoma. There's a moderate risk of severe thunderstorms surrounding the high risk from southwest Oklahoma to far northeast Nebraska and western Iowa. There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms surrounding the moderate risk from northwest Texas to western Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. Tornado outbreak expected late this afternoon into tonight from central northeastern Nebraska southward across Kansas to central Oklahoma with the potential for long track damaging large tornadoes. Now is the time that if you do not have a weather radio and you live in the high risk, moderate risk, or slight risks, it is now the time to get a weather radio. They save lives, as you know. I already have one. It's over there. But anyway, as you can see, that this is going to be a very, very large severe weather outbreak. As you can see, slight, moderate, and high. This is a very, very large high, guys. I'm telling you right now, this is something you really don't want to mess with. There's going to be a lot of tornadoes today. Also, if you get a chance, go to spc.noaa.gov, and over here it says, what is a watch? Click on that, watch that video. If you don't know what a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch is. Now, there is a public severe weather outlook in effect, PWO. Right now, it says, an outbreak of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes is expected over parts of the Central Plains this afternoon and tonight. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma is forecasting the development of a few strong, long-lived tornadoes over parts of Central Plains this afternoon and tonight. The areas most likely to experience this activity include central and eastern Kansas, central and eastern Nebraska, central and north-central Oklahoma. A very moist and unstable air mass will spread northward from Oklahoma to Kansas and Nebraska today in advance of a strong upper-level storm system and strengthening surface low-pressure system. After some morning, early afternoon storms from northwest Oklahoma to eastern Nebraska. More intense storm development is expected near the surface low in central Nebraska this afternoon, and so southward along the west edge of the moist, unstable air mass in central Kansas and western central Oklahoma. The storm environment appears to be very favorable for supercell thunderstorms, capable of producing very large hail and damaging tornadoes for long paths from late afternoon until at least midnight. Even though the storms could remain widely separated, east-moving tornadoes continuing after dark will heighten the risk to life and property. Some of the larger cities that may be impacted include Omaha and Lincoln, Nebraska, Topeka and Wichita, Kansas, as well as Oklahoma City and Tulsa, Oklahoma. State and local emergency managers are monitoring this potentially very dangerous situation. Those in the threatened area are urged to review severe weather safety rules and listen to NOAA radio, television, and your favorite media source for the possible watches, warnings, and later statements today. As I said, this is really something you really don't want to joke about. Yeah. You can just see how big the high risk is. You really don't want to play around with this. Alright guys, that's PC Crew 1056. Stay tuned. I will make a update around 6 or 7 p.m. Central Time, since that is the time when all this is going to be happening, so might as well do that. Alright guys, SPC Creep 1056, thank you for watching. Please spread this video around to viewers who live in this high-risk area. They need to know what's happening. Alright guys, talk to you later. Stay safe.